Let's learn about linear functions. Today, we're going to learn lines completely for the first time. We have 2 points, A, x comma y. In this case, the x value is 2, the y value is 3. And we have another point, B. What's the slope? Memorize that slope, which is often represented by the letter m, is equals to rise over run, which happens to be y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. And we have the points here. We'll call this x1, y1, and we'll call this x2, y2. So the formula says to take the y2, which is negative 7, and you subtract the other number, which is 3, all over this x value, 5 minus 2. And so what is the slope? We have negative 10 over 3. And by the way, if you subtract it the other way, if you said that the slope is equals to this minus this, which would be 3 minus negative 7 over 2 minus 5, this would also be okay, as long as you consistently subtract in the same direction. 2 negatives become a positive, 3 plus 7 is 10, 2 minus 5 is negative 3. So as you can see, these two numbers are the same. Find the slope of this line, y equals 3. So y equals 3 is a horizontal line. Do not mix up x's and y's. And we have a height of 3 here. You're like an airplane pilot cruising above the ground at an altitude of 3 kilometers high. So this here is y equals 3, and the slope would be 0. 0 means flat, uphill means positive slope, downhill from left to right means a negative slope. Another way of writing this would be y is equals to 0x plus 3. Anything times 0 disappears, so as you can see, the slope is 0. When we say y is equals to mx plus b, the m is your slope and the b value is your y-intercept. And as you can see, we are in quadrants 1 and 2. This here would be considered quadrant 3, and this here would be considered quadrant 4. We use Roman numerals. Now, what is the slope of a line that has x equals 2? Do not mix up x's and y's. X equals 2 is actually a vertical line that travels this way at 2, and the slope is undefined. Let's pick 2 points. I'll pick the point 2, 0, and we'll just pick a point up here. We'll say 2, 1. The slope is rise over run, so let's go this minus this, 1 minus 0, over 2 minus 2. As you can see, the slope is 1 divided by 0, which is undefined. You can't do this. Alright, let's attack this classic line equation question. Y equals 3x minus 2. What is the slope? The slope is right here. The general equation of the slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, and the slope m is the coefficient of x, which is 3. And the y-intercept is simply the b value, which is negative 2. We could say 0, negative 2, which would mean the same thing, x, y. To find the y-intercept, we simply set the opposite of y, which is x, equals 0. Now, what is the x-intercept? To find the x-intercept, we set the opposite of x, which is y, equals 0. So let's substitute 0 into the y value here. 0 is equals to 3x minus 2. We use algebra to throw the 2 over. So we have 2 is equals to 3x. Divide both sides by 3. We go x equals 2/3. So you could say that the x-intercept is 2/3, or if you want to write 2/3, 0, this also implies the x-intercept. This is actual coordinates. These are the coordinates. So we answered this question already up here. the actual coordinates are 0, negative 2. And now we have another question. We know that y is equals to 3x minus 2 is your nice slope-intercept form of a line. And the question is, when x equals 100, can you find y? When x is 100, is means you substitute 100 for x. 3 times 100 is 300, minus 2 is 298. We now know what y is. And it's nice to have an equation, because this here is the holy grail power to solve for any y value given the x. Given the input, we have a nice output. Again, we have the line equation, y is equals to 3x minus 2, and we're going to use substitution. When y equals 10, substitute, what's x? Let's throw the 2 over, so the negative 2 becomes a positive 2. So we have 12 is equals to 3x. We divide both sides by 3, so we get 4 is equals to x. X is 4. Now, is this point on the line? How do we find out? We simply substitute again. We copy down the line equation, and let's try plugging in, or substituting, 15 into the y value. I'm going to say left side is equals to 15, and you draw a nice line in the middle. Right side is equals to 3x minus 2, which is equals to 3 times x, which in this case is 7, minus 2, which is 21 minus 2 is 19. Left side does not equals to right side. So therefore, the point 7, 15 is not on the line. If it was, left side would equal right side. Now, is this point on the line? Here's your x value, here's your y value. Let's try it again. Left side is equals to y, which is negative 17. And the right side is going to be 3x minus 2, which is 3 times negative 5 minus 2, which is minus 17. Left side does indeed equals to right side, so therefore, yes, the point is on the line.